This is going to be a fun little countdown, shall I say, but we have my top 5, yes, 5 fragrances from Kilian for spring 2024. This is a lot of fun, and I actually had to wrestle to do this list, so I hope y'all enjoy it. Let's get on into it. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. The Santa Maria here. Yes, you all have asked for some rankings and whatnot of some of my collection, and then today we're going to be talking about Kilian in particular, the House of Kilian Paris, and we're doing the top 5 for spring. So I'm excited because I was actually kind of shocked how this list shook out, but let me know what you think at the end. But as always, lipstick of the day today, everyone. I decided to go colorful today. Pink and purple is the vibe, and this is from MAC, and this is Mega Magenta. This was a limited edition, as you can see by the packaging, but as always, I will link an alternative that is basically the same. Details on the face will be in the description box below as always, so you don't have to ask questions about it. Next up, we have fragrance of the day, and fragrance of the day is also from Kilian, and this is Kilian's Flower of Immortality. If you all have been watching the channel, you saw this was a part of my March 2024, aka the birthday haul. This was a long-term wish list item, so I had to wear it because it definitely fits for spring. So, and it will be a part of this list. You will see more about it later on in the video. And that again is Kilian's Flower of Immortality is your fragrance of the day. And now let's get into these top 5 fragrances from the House of Kilian for spring 2024. In the number 5 spot, yes, number 5. It pains me to put you in the number 5 spot, but it had to be done. It had to be done because I just feel like a few of these on here just deserve to be higher. And in the number 5 spot, this is Kilian's Woman in Gold. Now let me say this right now. This scent is not a like, it is a love. I had ordered samples of this fragrance years ago and I fell in love with it, eventually got it. I got it last year, and this was also a part of my wedding week lineup. So this is a fragrance memory for me, so just know that. But for spring, it's in the number 5 spot. So let me just give you some information on it because this scent isn't talked about enough. It's really slept on in my opinion, if you ask me. But alas, it has top notes of bergamot, there's mandarin and orange, and then we also have some aldehydes. Middle notes, we have our vanilla, rose, geranium, and freesia. And then in the base, we have vanilla, akigaya wood, tonka bean, and patchouli. Let me tell you right now, that top with the citrus and then that base of that akigaya wood is what makes this scent. And then vanilla too, it makes it a little bit more creamy and kind of sweet. So those are mainly what I get from it. Wow. I had a decant of this fragrance. Again, I had a sample of it, and then eventually I finally upgraded to the full size bottle because when you use up your sample and you use up your decant, it's time to get the full size bottle. That means you love it. But alas, the opening, you get the orange, so that mandarin for sure, that's the opening. Then in the middle, I get the akigaya wood, and then in the base, I get the vanilla for me. That is what I get from this scent. And because it has that woody base, and it also has some tonka in here that makes it like more edible, a little sweet, a little creamy for me. This scent is actually one of the longer lasting Kilians from the women's line. I gotta say that too. So for me, this is what I like as a more so like transition scent coming from winter going into spring, because the base notes I was talking about, you know, the akigaya wood, vanilla, tonka, all that going on, those notes tend to be more winter friendly in my opinion. And then of course that opening though is more brighter, more fresher. So for me, it's kind of giving when spring is slowly coming in, we coming off of winter, or in our case right now here in Tennessee, winter is fighting back in the middle of April because it's been 34 degrees some days, like what's going on, but then it'd be 60 the next day. So that's why, yeah, Woman in Gold had to make this list. And then the number 5 spot again is Kilian's Woman in Gold. In the number 4 spot, this one is so romantic. I mean, the bottle and everything. The number 4 spot goes to Kilian's Rolling in Love, and you all have seen me talk about this scent a whole lot. This was another one that started out as a sample that got upgraded to a decant, and then the decant got upgraded to this beauty right here, the full size bottle. So pretty. This was actually my Valentine's Day scent for this year, if you all recall, when I took it on our trip to Philadelphia. So yes, scent memories, absolutely scent memories. But for this list, it's in the number 4 spot. So Kilian's Rolling in Love, it has notes of almond milk, and it has ambrette, and then it has middle notes of iris and freesia, and then base notes of tuberose, vanilla, tonka bean, and musk. This is a scent that has that almond creaminess for sure. However, it has that powderiness because of that iris again. But then at the same time, it's fresh because of the florals that is the freesia. So it's an interesting combination. So this one, it's nice, but the musk in here, to me, the musk in this scent is what allows this to be a spring scent. Because now if I was just going off the almond notes, I would say no, this is more so a cold weather scent, winter scent, and that is it, nothing else. However, those florals in here and then that musk, this is what allows this to be another kind of early spring scent for me. That's how I feel about it. It holds up so well, and this is beautiful. This is a solid compliment magnet. The hair loves this one on me, and then I mean the name is just everything. Rolling in Love. Who is mad at that? So, but alas, in the number 4 spot for the spring list, it goes to Kilian's Rolling in Love. In the number 3 spot, this one is so well loved of a fragrance. This is one I actually hated at first. I thought it was overrated, and then I finally came around to it later on. The fragrance I'm referring to in the number 3 spot, this is Kilian's Princess. Yes, Kilian's Princess. This one, for a lot of people, was their introduction into Kilian, and I do see why. I completely understand. So with Kilian's Princess, we have notes of ginger, green tea, and marshmallow, and that is literally what this scent is. Like, they got straight to it with the notes. It's very bright and kind of zingy because of the ginger. But then it's kind of foody, kind of sweet because, again, the marshmallow is in there. So it's something, but the green tea kind of like rounds it out some kind of way. It makes it refreshing. I don't know how they did it, but it works. That's Kilian for you. But alas, Kilian's Princess, for me, she's fun. She's good for those days when you want to smell kind of like bright, but you still want to smell a little foodie, a little gourmand at the same time. She's not heavy. So that's why I like her for spring. And that's why she makes the number 3 spot for me. This is a scent. I had a sample of it for years. I held on to. This was sold out, this fragrance, for a minute because they had repackaged it. That's what was going on. We thought it had got discontinued. A lot of us did. But I remember smelling that sample and I was like, oh, this is what the girls are talking about. Let me see. Sprayed it, tried it on, and I was like, oh, I let it dry down. It was a love ever since then. So this was a case of I was hating on it because it was hyped up, and that's why I say we have to be very careful of hating on a fragrance just because it's popular, because hello, popular for a reason. That means it smells good. Just, you know, just tends to be what that is. And in this case, that was Kilian's Princess. Like, it just was. So in the number 3 spot, we have Kilian's Princess, you all, for spring. In the number 2 spot, now this one, the fragrance is not new to me. The bottle is new, but I've had samples and decants of it. So let me say that right now. In the number 2 spot is actually my fragrance of the day. This is Kilian's Flower of Immortality. So true story, the first fragrance I ever purchased from Kilian was Kilian's Good Girl Gone Bad. That is the scent that started it all for me. Then along with that fragrance purchase came, you know, samples they throw in your bag when you visit the Kilian counters and boutiques whatnot. And I visited a boutique at the time. So they threw in some samples, and Flower of Immortality was one of the samples. I sprayed it because I said, nobody ever talks about Flower of Immortality. Never knew it existed. Concerning the blue bottles, which is like the freshies, the only one I'd ever seen was Vodka on the Rocks and Moonlight in Heaven. Those were the only 2 I'd ever seen. But then I said, let me see what Flower of Immortality was saying, especially once I saw the notes, and I'm gonna read the notes to you all so you get what I mean. So it has notes, y'all, of white peach and peach blossom and nectarine. We have middle notes of iris, we have rose, black currant, freesia. And then, y'all, in the base, we have tonka bean and carrot seeds and some vanilla, of course. But most importantly, know this, it's about the peach. It's about the peach in this scent. If you take nothing else from this discussion about Flower of Immortality, it is the white peach note that makes this scent. Absolutely, this is a fresh scent. And second to the white peach note is the black currant. So for me, I get white peach and black currant. That is what this fragrance is for me. It's very bright, it's very uplifting, it's very youthful. That is this scent. And it's just very like bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, which to me, that's spring. I mean, that's when everything hatches, all the trees bloom. That's what this scent smells like to me. So for that reason, Flower of Immortality had to be number 2. This was the scent sample, again, going back to my original purchase when I purchased Good Girl Gone Bad. This was the scent sample that was most exciting to me out of the other ones I had in my bag. This was the one I held on to the longest. So I've wanted this fragrance for 3 years to upgrade it. So I knew for sure I would get it this year. But alas, for spring, this is perfect. So Kilian's Flower of Immortality. And now for the number 1 spot. So what could possibly be number 1? This is one that I bought it on a whim. This was like a sort of blind buy, but I gotta admit, purchased it in the summertime, but I knew it would be a star in the spring. And the fragrance I am referring to in the number 1 spot, this is Love Don't Be Shy, the extreme version. Emphasis on the extreme version, because no way to the original Love But Don't Be Shy being on this list. No, that is a cold weather scent for me because it's so thick and sweet in my opinion. But the extreme version, Love Don't Be Shy Extreme, let me tell you why this one is number 1 for me for spring, y'all. First off, we have notes of neroli and bergamot up top. Then in the middle, we have orange blossom and we have Bulgarian rose. And then the base notes are marshmallow, vanilla, musk, and pomegranate. So all in all, it still has that original Love Don't Be Shy DNA, with the neroli and orange blossom going on, right? However, it is the rose in this scent. Understand this right now. If you do not like rose, stay far away from the extreme version because this is a sugary sweet rose bomb of a fragrance. That is what this is. And for me, it's the sweetness, but in this case, it's not thick sweetness, it's powdered sugar sweetness, but dusted on top of roses. That is what this is. And I love roses for this time of year. I think of brunch, I think of events, Mother's Day. I just think of like occasions, graduations, whatnot, parties. That is what this smells like to me. This is a good feminine, good time. Just ultimately feminine, good time, which all of these fragrances I'm talking about to me are extremely feminine fragrances. No unisex about them in my opinion. But alas, this one is so dainty, so girly. Her favorite colors are pink and white. That is what I'm getting from Love Don't Be Shy Extreme. And she's just a girl's girl. I love that. So Love Don't Be Shy Extreme from Kilian makes the #1 spot for spring 2024. So all right, everyone, that wraps up this video. That wraps up my countdown of what I think are the 5 best fragrances, and ranked, of course, for Kilian and this season right now that we are in, which is spring 2024. Let me know your thoughts. Do you agree with my ranking? Also, of course, I recognize Kilian has a ton of other fragrances that I do not have or that are not in this video. Which ones do you think are your top 5 for spring? I would love to know them, because this is a house I'm enjoying and I'm still exploring more of. So let me know. It might be some gems that I'm not necessarily checking on, but y'all might recommend to me. I do read you all's comments as always, y'all know this, and I do respond when I can. So alas, let me know your thoughts, and I will catch you all in the next video. Bye y'all.